Welcome to Counterculture-Wise, a Stormcat production, with your hosts, Melanie Hope and James Monis. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts, our guests, and the dog, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any of our platforms, our advertisers, or any other dog.
As you listen today, please remember, we are so much more than a podcast. All of our stories we discuss are linked in our show notes on counterculturewise.com. Visit there for commentary, guest photos and links, animations, and fun merchandise.
If you have a story idea or would like to be a guest on our show, contact us via our website. You can also follow us on Twitter, Gab, Instagram, Facebook, and all over social media where we'll post memes, cat pics, and commentary that gets us booted off on a regular basis.
If you're watching our live show, hit like and join the chat. If you're listening dead, well, you can still hit like, share, subscribe, and comment, but please stop voting Democrat. Well then, with the meows of the Mackie Meow, you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another Counterculture-Wise podcast. Happy Sunday. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah, there's some kind of thing going on Tuesday I've heard about. Maybe we need to
Yeah, it's
talk.
2 days before my birthday.
Yeah. So
And
you know what
I
to do
want
for a
my
birthday.
Yes, I know exactly what I want for my birthday. I would like, ladies and gentlemen, what I want for my birthday is world peace, affordable groceries, and mean tweets. Let's do this, America. I think we might even have to pray. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to do the first couple of stories first?
Why don't we, just to get in the proper frame of mind for everything, let's pray now.
You said you had a whole sermon.
Well, I think that can be saved for later.
Okay. Well, should I introduce you now or right before your sermon?
Just introduce me now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to my right is my right hand. Oh, wait. Hi, I'm Melanie. Nice to meet y'all.
It's Melanie Hope.
Yeah, I'm the Melanie Hope.
Not just any Melanie
Not
Hope.
just any. I'm the Melanie Hope.
Hope.
Yes. Nice to meet y'all. Welcome to Counterculture Wise. This is going to be a fun one. And
Yeah,
to
it
my
is.
right is my right-hand man, my best friend, happens to be my husband, and my co-host. There's one other thing. What is that thing? Oh, yes. My sweet baboo, Mr. James Monis.
Ba-ba.
All right, you're going to hate this one.
Why would I hate it?
I don't know.
I'm not a hateful person, Jim.
Well, okay. Why do Swedish warships have barcodes painted on the side?
Why do Swedish warships have barcodes? Oh, I don't know, but it's going to be bad, isn't it?
So when they come in, they can Scandinavian.
I don't get it.
Scan the Navy in.
Oh!
Never mind. Let's try another one. What did the ocean say to the sailboat?
I am waving.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing. It just waved. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
I'm glad that part of the show's over. Let's go on to the better stuff. Yeah. Yay.
Aren't there bad dad jokes about voting?
Lots of bad dad jokes about voting.
I think this whole thing is a bad dad joke if you think about it.
Oh, man. Well, one bad dad was
Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we?
let's talk. Let us talk about the bad dad.
You know what? Let's play a couple of videos. Well, and just we won't even
pray.
comment.
We were going to pray, weren't we?
We're gonna pray. We're gonna pray.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us pray. Father God, we lift up our leaders, all of them. We ask that you embrace this country with love and wisdom. And we pray that no matter the outcome, people's hearts and souls are calm, and that we treat each other like the beautiful children of God that we are. Father, no matter the outcome, please let it be peaceful, and let the right man win. In Jesus' name, amen.
Nice. Slip the partisan bit in at the end.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
cool.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's watch this video of America's bad
Well, I mean,
bad
you
dad
just
here.
might as well talk about the worst dad like ever. But let's just play it. I mean,
Yeah.
Just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
I thought that was pretty clear.
Yeah.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can only really
okay,
take it the
here's the
one way.
thing. You must put it in context. When he stood in front of those Marines with that red lighting behind him and raised his fists and said that the MAGA Republicans are a threat to democracy, and he and his ilk have been calling us Nazis, literal Nazis, fascists, insurrectionists, threats to the very fabric of this country, threats to democracy. And we're supposed to believe that he, oh golly gee willow, cause his stutter that he never had, and he just misspoke. Oh no, you don't understand. It's punctuation. You couldn't see his punctuation. We're supposed to believe that's what was in his heart? No.
Well,
I am a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist, Nazi Jew hater, by the way. I'm a Nazi, but then I'm pro Israel, so that makes me a Jew loving Nazi. I'm totally confused right now. And I want peace in the world, which makes me a fascist.
Probably
And I
also
want
makes you a
freedom of
warmonger.
speech, and I want to obey the Constitution, which makes me an anti-constitutional insurrectionist. It's like these people, they don't even believe what they're saying.
How can they when they keep contradicting themselves?
Well, there's that. But they're
No.
also finger-pointing name callers. And yes, I just pointed my finger and called him a name caller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did say that I'm garbage. And you know what? Even if he didn't, I get to play their game. I get to play their game because if anybody even so much as... In fact, this whole thing came around because a comedian who was warming up the crowd 7 hours before Trump even took the stage said in a joke that there is a floating island of garbage in the Pacific, which there is. And he actually is a person who's really obsessed about that and wants to clean it up. And the joke was that, oh, I think it's Puerto Rico. He didn't say, oh, I think it's made up of Puerto Rican people. He did not say that. He said the floating island of garbage is Puerto Rico. Now let's look at Puerto Rico. Let's look at Puerto Rico. Where did that joke come from? It came from truth. And it has nothing to do with Puerto Rican people, especially the pretty, pretty princesses that are here on the mainland, because yes, Puerto Rico is part of America, that are here on the mainland in their mansions in New York and LA and all the nice white areas that they live in, that are pretending like they're upset. No, it has nothing to do with the people. And by the way, little Miss over Botox big booty broad, if you're so upset about it, why don't you take some of your millions of dollars from your B-grade acting and your meh music career and go help your people, as you called them, fix it?
That's a good question. She's talking about J-Lo, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Just to make
I
absolutely
could
sure.
not. They had to tell me who she was because she Madonna'd her face. She is unrecognizable. That
I
poor
haven't looked
woman.
at it. I don't want to look at her because she was pretty back
Was
in the
one of
day.
the most beautiful women on the planet, and she messed it up. I don't understand why people do this to themselves. I actually, if she wasn't being such a garbage person right now, yeah, she is being a garbage person right
See
now,
what
but
she
it has
did
nothing
there?
to do with her being Puerto Rican because she's lying. I would feel sorry for her because that is some botched.
Botched Botox.
I don't know what the heck that is, but
Yeah.
she's got these giant apple cheeks. She looks like that creature from Saw. I don't know what the heck she is. Anyways, we were joking about punctuation. So this is the copium that they're trying to use. Did Biden call Trump supporters garbage? It comes down to an apostrophe. Oh, does it?
Doesn't really.
Does it come down to an apostrophe?
Does it really?
Does it really?
Nah.
I mean, why don't you go ahead and read a little bit about this because it's laughable.
All right. For years, Republicans have strained to recreate the political magic that was Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables comment. Well, everybody knows that.
Why have we strained to recreate that? Why would we want to recreate? Never mind.
Because it led to her. It was one of the things that led to her downfall.
It didn't lead to her downfall. We actually used it. We embraced it.
Yeah. Republicans' latest entry on the eve of the 2024 campaign, President Joe Biden's garbage comment Tuesday night, is more plausible than most of their hoped-for deplorables moment. This is by the way, this is the Washington Post.
Yeah,
Democracy dies in darkness.
I specifically
when written by dorks.
Picked this one because it is so repugnantly biased. It's comical. So I specifically picked this one because it's actually comical in how biased it is.
It's still not nearly as ironclad as Clinton's comments. And Biden's increasing I'm turning into Bob. Oh no.
Whoops.
Tendency to stumble over his words, which marred these very comments, makes it entirely plausible that he didn't intend to tar large numbers of Trump supporters, as he soon clarified that he hadn't.
Well,
Okay, this is the same guy who, like you just said a few minutes ago, in an almost Nazi Germany-like setting, talked about the MAGA Republicans being a threat to democracy.
Well, he's also the same guy that has on numerous occasions threatened violence against the former president. And threatened violence.
Take it back and smack you upside the head. Shut up,
and
Joe.
threatened violence toward us, and said that anybody who supports him is an insurrectionist and a Nazi. I mean, how anti-Israel, how anti-Semitic do you have to be to turn the world's not even the world's worst, because he has nothing over commies, but one of the world's worst genocidal maniacs, and turn him into you're a poopy head, because that's basically what they've done. Anytime they can't come up with anything original, they don't have any other ideas. They can't come back with policy.
Right.
They can't make a cohesive adult argument.
Right.
So they've invoked Hitler,
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler, and basically dummied him down to, well, my daddy can beat up your daddy and you're a poopy head.
Yeah.
They've completely just basically erased history for their political ineptitude.
On behalf of the 6 million Jews who were executed by Hitler, just shut up, Joe. Anyway, this is the Washington Post stretching really, really much. Comments let's see. It may come down to the placement of apostrophe, and it's worth a parse. It really isn't. But let's go ahead for the sake of argument. Skipping ahead, the key line. I'll offer the so-called writer from a so-called newspaper called the Washington Post. I will offer 3 different versions which significantly change Biden's meaning, with the key part bolded. And I will say the bold in this voice, so you know what I'm talking about. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable and it's un-American.
Okay, but there's a tiny, itsy bitsy wee little problem here.
What's that?
We have the video, so we know what words he emphasized.
I know. But, they're also saying, the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters with the apostrophe at the end of it.
Where's Victor Borgia? What's his name?
Victor Borga.
Yeah, where's Victor Borga when you name? We're going to have to ask Biden to speak like that from now on.
The third one is the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporter, apostrophe S, his, which would narrow it down to the stand-up comic. Honestly, he meant the first thing. It was clear. It was obvious.
Clear, he meant it. It's on video.
And I'm tired of it. No matter how it turns out on Tuesday, I will be thanking the good Lord above. And yes, I know we just prayed that Biden is no longer in power.
Oh, he hasn't been in power since
you know what I mean.
He was installed like a cheap toilet. He hasn't been in power.
Well,
the guy's been demented 8 years before he even ran.
I know, but what I'm saying is, we won't have to deal with him on a daily basis.
I just hope we don't have to deal with
cackles and FUD.
Cackles and FUD.
Yeah, we'll find out about that. But anyway, I don't even want to read the rest of this. It's just going on and on and on and on.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
The entire reason he made that comment is because they took a joke talking about a real problem and said that the joke was about the people, and it wasn't. So they changed the meaning of the joke so that they could insult us and then change the meaning of that insult. And you know what? They can go straight to that garbage pile floating in the Pacific. And I'm not talking Puerto Rico. So let's look at where this joke came from.
This is an amazing photo.
Puerto Rico is indeed a floating island of garbage. They have a garbage problem. And instead of whining about it, J-Lo, instead of complaining about it and pretending that you're so upset, why don't you take your millions of dollars and help these people? And I think Trump should fix it. The minute he gets in office, he needs to help them figure this out, because this is ridiculous. People shouldn't be living like this.
And the other article you had stashed here, the first photo is just disgusting and scary.
This one here or the next one?
The next one. But, I mean, yeah.
Yes, this is what the island of Puerto Rico looks like, and yes, that is a goat. And no, that goat is not going to be able to eat all that garbage. They don't recycle at all. Their landfills are taking over the entire island. They have a trash problem. They are a trash island. And it has nothing to do with the people. And if you really are upset about this, then you need to fix it, not whine about how your butt hurt
over some stand-up
in
comic.
Their favor. Like, you're doing it for way to white knight these people who just need help. Let's teach them some recycling. Let's clear out their landfills. Is there a solution? Yeah. The EPA, Caribbean Environmental Protection Division, is assisting. We need to fix this. Not whine that somebody made the whole thing about comedy. And remember, this guy, he's the type of comic that you invite to a roast.
Right.
That's his gig.
He's a roast
You're
comic.
mad at him that he did what he does.
Yeah,
Remember, 7 hours before Trump took the stage, and yet they're saying Trump said it. That's how stupid these people are.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
And coming from the mouths of people who have literally called us Nazis and racists and insurrectionists and, I mean, on and on and on. Yeah, I'm going to take him literally. And I think it's fully my right. All bets are off, big boy. All bets are off. Just like that pro-Hamas jerk that got all upset when somebody said, I hope your pager doesn't go off. And said, oh, you want me to die? You want me to die? Did you not hear the doesn't? Oh. Does not? As in, I don't want you to die?
Oh, by the way, I wanted to point out something else, a kind of indicator. One of these articles that you're showing is from 2022. Mm-hmm. The other one is from October of 2024. In other words, nothing has been done.
Not a bloody damn
Not
thing.
a thing. And I think that says more than some stand-up comic silly little joke about Puerto Rico. The land, not the people. They pulled this same stuff with the
Now,
China virus thing.
Hold on. Now, we care so much about Puerto Rico that we were aware of this in 2022. Who was president in 2022?
Some old geezer.
Okay. And it's now 2024, and who are we pretending is still president?
Some old geezer. Same guy.
And he is on their behalf upset that somebody pointed out the problem that he has not lifted a finger to fix.
Nope.
Okay, just checking.
Just checking.
Just checking.
Thank you
All
for
right,
checking.
so how did the evil orange man react to this? Well,
Epic trolling.
epic trolling.
Is how he did it.
Troll level 1,000.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. And I think 250 million people in this country are going to be very happy because we're going to bring the country back. We're a nation in decline, very, very serious decline. And we're going to bring our country back.
He also said that he's going to fix the trash problem in Puerto Rico. So I think a lot of good is going to come out of this, even if we don't get the rightful president back in office. I think that because there's been so much attention drawn to this, that people who are capable of reading, and it's not a whole lot of Democrats, but those who are now aware of this, I think there's going to be a push to help Puerto Rico get this fixed.
That shouldn't even come to this. That should have been done. It's just as a natural part of administrating.
Well, yeah, I mean, they
but-
keep reminding us over and over, they're part of America, they're part of America, they're part of America. Great, groovy, wonderful, fantastic. Let's fix this. The same with Haiti. Let's fix this. This is ridiculous. Why are we bringing everybody over here? Why don't we go over there and make things better instead of worse? No, we're so busy out there starting wars and tearing things down and then bringing them over here. That's not how you fix things. The whole time I worked in World Vision, we had to constantly deal with, God, I just want to go over there and I just want to wrap these children in my arms. I want to bring them here and I want to give them a better life.
Right.
And that's what you want to do. Just like when you go to the pound, you see all the dogs and cats that these loving homes, you want to bring them all home with you, but you can't do that. But first of all, it'll make your home worse, trashy, not because of the dogs and cats and not because of the children or whatever, but because you just don't have enough room and resources to take care of them. And two, you can't rip them away from everything that they know, from their culture, from their parents, from their grandparents, their great-grandparents, their history, their land. You've got to go in and fix the root of the problem, which is what Kamala promised she was going to do, but she hasn't lifted a perfectly
she's still got
manicured
3 months.
finger to do anything
She's still
for
got-
anyone at all, ever.
She's still got 2.5 months.
If she could get her legs out of the air for 5 seconds, I bet you she could get a lot accomplished.
Yeah. Anyway.
But no, she's too busy sleeping her way into high positions that she doesn't deserve, that she doesn't get elected into. And ladies and gentlemen, if she is installed as the president of the United States, it's not because she got the votes. And we know that because they're priming us for it. They're telling us, oh, golly gee willikers, we're not going to know what the vote count is on the night of.
It gets even better.
Oh, it gets even better. It gets much better. But before we move on to how much better it's already gotten,
Yeah.
there's another video I'd like to play
Okay.
because it's hilarious because they're calling that truck Garbage Force One. And, say what you will about, us tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorists, Zionist Nazis here. We can meme.
We can meme the
If
heck.
there's one thing we can do, it's
meme all over the place.
Yeah, so this is the gentleman who actually drove the garbage truck, and what a sweet, decent, just American. I've got to go sick the dog on the squirrel that's in the bird feeder right now. We'll have a story about squirrels later. But chasing the squirrels off the bird feeder is one thing. I don't wish ill on the squirrel other than he needs to be off the bird feeder. All right. So this is what this American guy had to say about his experience, direct experience with Trump and Vivek even.
So I had a few people reach out, so I figured I'd jump on here and just let everybody know that was me driving President Trump's garbage truck. There's me with Vivek right there, but I gotta say it was an honor and a privilege to drive Garbage Force One. President Trump is just a normal, everyday guy. He hopped in, no problem. He looked at me, he said, give me one of these right here, and we don't have one of these, we have one of those. So I honked a couple times and he laughed. He said, how about we take this bad boy through McDonald's? And I said, sir, I don't think she'll fit in the drive-thru. He said, it's all right, I used to work there. And he turned to me and he said something, and I'm getting chills just thinking about it. He said, this is really sticking it to Joe Biden. I said, yes, sir, it is. So, Joe, consider this a message to you, because you called us garbage, and in order to prove that we aren't garbage, we got a truck that hauls garbage. Does that sound like something garbage would do? Would be to drive around in a truck that hauls garbage? I don't think so. You made a mistake, Joe. You can't call a group of people garbage unless it's meant to be funny. And in that case, those people need to stop being so soft. Maybe get a sense of humor. But if you call me garbage, that's offensive. And you should consider what it's like for people's feelings to hear that. You might as well call me Oscar the Grouch, because you done pissed me off, Joe. And if being a patriot is what they're calling garbage these days, then yeah, I am garbage. Because I'm going to show up to the polls wearing a garbage bag to show you what us white trash can do. And they're going to rename Election Day Garbage Day, because we're going to be taking out the trash, which is you, even though I'll be the one wearing the garbage bag.
He got
He didn't hold back.
emotional.
Yep.
He got emotional.
Well, nobody likes being called garbage. It's
Well,
It was
what
improper.
I love about this guy, those of us who have been really paying attention to all of this, we're used to it. I get the feeling that he is just a hardworking American who hasn't gotten involved in politics and hasn't been watching the news and hasn't been completely brainwashed by, all this nonsense. And when he heard that from who he thought was the actual sitting president of the United States, and that man looked into the camera and called him a voter garbage, that actually hurt him, because he'd never heard talk like that before, and he didn't know that's how the Democrats see us. And they even see their own voters. I mean, they're out there saying, if you don't vote for Kamala, even if you're a Democrat, even if you've always voted Democrat, even if you voted for Obama, if you don't vote for her, you're a misogynist, you're a racist.
We've
It's like,
heard it all
no, you're
before.
just somebody who has two brain cells to rub together, and you see someone who's inexperienced, a diversity hire, who doesn't know what the heck she's doing, who will make everything worse, who loves communist ideas and is a puppet, and can't even be genuine long enough to do a speech in her own native language. She has to affect these ridiculous accents. I mean, it's bad enough that we're seeing Kamala going to, like a black barber shop, which, I'm sure that the men at barber shops really want a woman to come in and take over the conversation. I'm sure that was a big hit. Because I'm sure that's why men hang out at men's barber shops where women don't go, is so that women can come in and, cackle over the top of them. But she's in there, she's like, yo, homie, hey, I be sickin', and then she gets in front of Hispanics, and, now she's got a Hispanic accent. Then, she'll go to,
I know where you're going.
she'll go all over America. Now I be talking to you like this. I, go to Canada, God knows where. I mean, can you just see her going up and well, no, she already did affect a French accent when she was in France. She actually did. So then she goes to England. She's like, pip, pip, cheerio, old chum. She is an embarrassment to her party, to herself, to her races, plural, to her gender, my gender. to our country. She is an embarrassment. And I get the feeling that she doesn't even really want to be there because she doesn't even really try. I mean, if you have to surround yourself with all of the rejects from a Diddy party, I mean, let's just call a spade, and no, that's not a racist thing. That's just, you're calling us, well, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to change garden utensils. Let's call a hoe.
I'm sitting here. I say nothing. I sit here and I say nothing.
Anyway, we're just trying to have fun, folks.
Trying.
I'm really trying not to be mad. I really am, but
Well,
how can you not be mad in the face of just her getting up there and lying and just absolute bald face looking you in the eyes and lying and not just stretching the truth, but just fabricating stuff out of thin air, like Project 2025 or that, I mean, those TikToks that are going around like, oh, did I get too political? My bad. I'm just worried about having all my rights revoked. What? I'm just worried about not having birth control. What? And they're just coming up with the absolute most asinine, ridiculous, not just false, but just insane things that nobody has said at all ever. And pretending like it's real. And I don't know why I'm so surprised, because we're talking about the party that believes that men can have babies and that full-grown Franks and Beans having guys can go to women's locker rooms and compete in women's sports. These people are crazy. And I'm not saying that as an insult. It is an actual fact. There have been studies. I think it's 60 to 70, maybe even 80%. Don't quote me because I'm just freeballing here, but I know it's above 60% of these people are literally clinically insane. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I can find it. Crowder has it. Literally diagnosed with some sort of mental illness.
right.
And these are the people that you want in charge of the most powerful nation on the planet?
Well, you know, some people are genetically engineered to vote along party lines. It's just going to happen.
I'm blown away. Anyways, we don't have to worry about any of that, though, because she's already won.
Apparently. Look at this. During a Formula One race, a Pennsylvania news station showed election test results of Vice President Kamala Harris winning the state. By the way, this is not November 5th yet. WNEP, a Scranton Wilkes-Barre-based television news station, explained in a statement that test results, in quotes, showing Kamala Harris receiving 52% and former President Donald Trump receiving 47% had, quote, mistakenly appeared on WNEP TV, end
Yeah,
quote,
mistakenly appeared.
early Sunday night. The news station explained the numbers had been randomly generated and
Oh,
had
my
been
fuzzy white
sent
behind.
out to help news organizations make sure their equipment is working properly. Yes, somebody's equipment was not working properly. Test results for the upcoming November 5th general election mistakenly appeared on WNEP early Sunday evening during a broadcast of the Formula One Mexico Grand Prix. The news station said those numbers should not have appeared on the screen. It was an error by WNEP that they did. I will say one thing. If the results show up in Pennsylvania being 52-47, first of all, not going to happen.
They'll
He's
do
going to take
51-48
Pennsylvania,
just
but
to say it's different.
yeah, but yeah.
What I love
Anyway.
is they reported 100%. That happened.
Many people took to social media to criticize the news station, while this pointed out there's obviously test data, noting that Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate Dave McCormick's check mark wasn't even right. Sigh. Mark Mitchell's the head pollster with Rasmussen Reports wrote in a post on X, this is obviously test data plugged in by an idiot. McCormick checkmark isn't even right. A Harris 5% Pennsylvania win would be Venezuela-like.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think Penn is going to go for Trump.
Think so?
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, because it's 47-46, but boy, that is tight. I don't understand why it's so tight. You've got an inept, cackling.
I just explained it. Genetically engineered to vote Democrat.
That's so pathetic, though.
Yeah, I know.
I usually cover up the right side of articles because there's a bunch of garbage over there. But this is so funny. The most popular article: Schwarzenegger mocked for Harris endorsement. Go screw another nanny. Yeah, those nanny.
Screw your freedom while I screw my nanny.
Yeah, screw your freedom. Yeah, those
Sorry,
screw your
buddy.
freedom, Schwarzenegger. Yeah, so we want you to be the backer of. Just
It's
consider
always
the source.
It's all of the worst rhinos that are backing up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like as if having Liz Cheney or Dick Cheney backing you up is a good thing.
Yeah.
How can that be a good thing? Or one of W's twin dipsticks put their vote behind. I mean, yeah, we got Bushes and Cheneys supporting Kamala. That's warmongering dipsticks. I'm being very careful about my
Did
language.
the warmongering walrus back her too? 'Cause
Probably,
Trump went hard on him.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong though, because all of us were scratching our heads. Why would you put Bolton back? Oh, because he's such a warmongering psychopath that you used him to scare the daylights, and it worked. So while they're pretending, ooh, he's cozying up to dictators. Well, all that cozying got us world peace, you jerks. We had world peace in the Middle East. Wars were winding down. We got the Abraham Accords. And you're whining that he did that. Are you listening to yourselves? I mean, seriously, are you listening to yourselves? Cozying up to dictators. So let's do something fun. Let's
do exactly that.
Let's clean the palate, as they say.
All right.
All right. So you're not allowed to look.
I'm
So
not
you can't
looking.
Look. You're not looking? All right.
Not looking.
Apparently, we're old geezers and we don't understand our fellow kids' slang. We know that we know that. What are you calling them? Cackles and FUD.
Cackles and FUD.
They've been trying to do the hello fellow kids thing. Oh, she's brat and all this nonsense.
She's an idiot.
So let's see. No, no name calling. No
All right.
name
Sorry.
calling.
Sorry. We are better than that. We are above that.
Yes. When we go low, she goes down. When we go high, she gets high. All right. See. Okay. See.
Right.
We're not calling names. We're
No,
just
we're not
telling
calling
it
any
like
names.
it is.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyways, so they've been trying. I mean, remember, folks, she's 60, and not saying that's old because Jim's almost 60 as well. And I have a birthday on Thursday. Did I remind everybody that all I want for my birthday is cheap groceries, cheap gas, world peace, and mean tweets? Anyway, or ex-posts as they're called now. Let's look at the new words of 2024 and see if there are any that we even know. I'm going to quiz Jim because I'm a hip youngster who's totally onto these words.
You could have just stopped at hippie. Anyway.
I didn't say hippie.
You said hippie youngster. So.
I did not say hippie. I said
I
hip.
know, but I just grabbed the E at the beginning of youngster.
Oh.
And so, yeah. Anyway, keep
Well,
going.
That's like adding
Far out, man.
the in front of bomb because you just don't know any better.
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me while I take my vitamins. Has your 2024 been cats, or have you been plagued by too many skibbity videos? Are you too Sigma to care if your preen thinks you're demure? Did any of that make sense to you?
Not a bit.
Well, okay, this will be fun then. So these are a few of the terms made popular online that made up a list of the most searched for slang words in the U.S. this year, according to analysis Unscrambler. Oh, I love Unscrambler. I use them all the time to try to figure out what the heck the word is that I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
Please.
That made a lot of sense. The word
None
is
at all.
Yeah, none at all. So Newsweek has rounded up the most popular from Unscrambler's list and put the definitions into a quiz. So we are going to take the quiz. I'm not going to read all the garbage that they have here. Okay, so the top most searched for slang words: demure, sigma, skibidi, hocktua. Sadly, I know what that one is. Sobriquet, schmaltz. Really, schmaltz? That's been around as long as I've been alive. They must have changed the word like they did with bad and fat. Sen, cats, ovure, and preen. Okay, I am going to say that I recognize about 50%. So let's see how Jim does.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and see the screen. So what does demure mean? Choose one of the following. To cut off a conversation abruptly, usually when someone overshares. The act of subtly boosting one's own image on social media without being too overt. Or to be considerate, kind, and mindful with one's appearance and actions.
The second.
The second one?
Yeah.
All right. Do we submit these one at a time? Let's see what it is. Okay, you are wrong.
Okay, what does it mean?
To be considerate, kind, and mindful with one's appearance and actions, which it always did mean.
That's why, okay, that must have been what threw me off. Okay.
Yeah, me too. So apparently if you use the word as it's the word it actually is, then okay. What does sigma mean? An independent, self-reliant person who exists outside of traditional social hierarchies. A solo traveler who explores places off the beaten path. Or the ultimate multitasker who excels at work and personal projects simultaneously.
Ultimate hacker dude number 3.
Number 3. See, I don't like any of those because when I've heard sigma, it means... Okay. It is an independent, self-reliant person who exists outside of traditional social hierarchies, number 1.
So, boom.
So
0
far,
for
you're
2.
0 for 2.
0 for 2.
What does skippity mean? What would help those if you could hear it in a
Could you
sentence?
spell it, maybe? I don't know. Skippity?
S-K-I-B-I-D-I.
Skibbity.
Actually, you could probably look at this. You can look at the screen
Okay.
because I haven't picked them yet, so feel free to look at the screen. If you can put your glasses on, old man, and see the... Here he comes. All right, here he comes. Very gently moving the microphone.
An
so he
online
doesn't-
trend involving skipping meetings or obligations last minute. An internet trend that features surreal animated videos used for nonsensical conversations and viral videos. An internet trend of celebratory dance videos on TikTok. Move that involves waving one's hands like skis. Okay, waving one's hands like skis sounds like baloney. I'm going to go with... I'm going to go ahead and do number 2.
Numero dos. Hey, you got one!
Yay!
1 for 3. Hocktua. Now this one, everybody knows Hocktua.
Number 2. Skipping that one. Thanks. Have a nice day.
That's Kamala's entire, sorry,
Yeah.
her entire platform.
Sobriquet. Well, I mean, a generic term for nickname or descriptive name. That's what it means.
Yeah.
That's what it actually, in fact, means. So I'm going with that one.
All right. Yay!
right.
So they're actually using the word for what it actually means. So 2 for...
I don't know.
2 down. Schmaltz. Now, it's always meant excessive sentimentality or melodrama.
Yeah.
So do you think they're still using it for the same thing?
I will put in a plug for a sandwich shop here in Waco called Schmaltz's, and they're quite good. That
Okay.
having been said,
Yeah, they were good.
yeah,
They were really good.
They have their signature sandwich, which is luncheon meat, spam, salami, a couple of other types of meat, lettuce, tomato, and some sauce they put. It is, oh my God, good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do that
I can't
again
remember.
soon.
I think I got the grilled cheese, but it
Yeah.
was like not just grilled cheese. It was, hello, I'm grilled cheese.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was really
Okay, I'm going to say excessive sentimentality or
that's what it
melodrama because
actually
that's what
means.
schmaltz actually means.
Yay! Okay, so some of these kids aren't all, messed up. Sen. Significant other. That's my bet.
Significant other, sibling, or refer to yourself. Okay, I'm going to use the. I'm also going to go with significant others. S. That would be it.
Because I'm assuming it's Japanese, and you've been to Japan.
It has nothing to do with
Oh,
that, but
no?
significant other.
All right.
Oh, term used to refer to yourself.
Boo. Cats. Something enjoyable, fun, pleasing, and positive can mean yes. Something boring, not enjoyable, and negative can mean no. Something you are ambivalent to, of average entertainment, fine but not pleasant, can mean maybe.
I'd say the third one. That's my
I'm
vote.
voting on the third one too. I don't know. Oh, it means
Oh.
positive. That's the cats, yo. Aw, Frankie, you're the cat.
Frankie is the cats.
What does oeuvre mean? The complete works produced by an artist, a large outdoor nature area, the signature thing someone is known for creating.
The complete works produced by an artist.
Okay, I'm going for number 3, but I'm going to go with your answer because you're the one playing, and you're right.
I am right.
You are right. What does preen mean? Well, that means to clean your feathers. A child who tries to act like a teenager who tries to act like a child, an adult who tries to act like a teenager.
Oh boy. I would say preen because pretend teen. That's what I'm going to go. Adult who tries to act like a teenager.
That's actually really good logic. And you are wrong. It's a child who tries to act like a teenager.
Whatever.
Wow, it says perfect score. You're a wizarding genius.
I'm
How
not.
do I have a perfect score?
I didn't have a perfect score.
I'm totally
Man.
confused.
Okay, they just like the last 10 minutes have been meaningless now.
All right,
They've
so
rendered
to cut
like,
off a conversation abruptly is demure, which I just did. Wait, but demure is an adjective, so how can you use it as a verb?
This is America in 2025, almost.
Yeah, you fail. Boo.
I bombed.
I mean, they made the thing turn colors, so I'm just going to go with what... Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 10. 50%, as I predicted.
There you go.
I predicted 50%. All right.
Frout.
Okay, little bit of fun, but let's head into, well...
Before that, drop everything.
Oh, what a good idea.
Yeah, drop everything.
We should do that. Drop
so.
everything, ladies and gentlemen. And like, share, subscribe, do all the things. If you're listening to this on any of the other podcasty places, you know, where you can leave reviews, say like on the Apple thingy. Here's the thing. You can give us, say, 45 million. No, let's do 81 million,
81 million.
likes, stars. 81 million stars. Let's do that. One star for every Trump voter that is out there that will vote him in. Give us 81 million stars. And if you're not enjoying this show, don't leave. Give us the equivalent of a 2-penny tip. You know, it's more insulting than if you don't leave a tip at all.
Right on.
So make it hurt, like 5 stars. I mean, that's just insulting and nasty and rude, and we will get the message. So either give us 81 million stars because you love us, or just a paltry 5 stars. We will get the message, and we will change our ways.
We will.
If you have anything that you must get off your chest, head on over to counterculturewise.com and let us know how you feel. We have a form. It's called the ID10T form. You can fill it out. There's a box in there where you can tell us exactly what we need to fix, and we will give it the attention that it deserves.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, if you'd like to support the show, since we get bupkis for doing this, we're doing this just from the love in our hearts.
Absolutely.
Head on over to counterculturewise.com where you can directly send us a tip. You can buy our crap. You can subscribe to stuff. There's all kinds of different things. There's even some things that will help you help yourself. So we'll be adding more and more of those things as we go, and we appreciate you doing that. Also, make sure you check back often because we post throughout the week interviews, really awesome interviews that are coming up. We've, of course, got the Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening segment, which has its own channel, but we also post it elsewhere. And every now and then we'll just toss up something because we're in a mood. So, you know,
True.
make sure you subscribe wherever you're at so that you are informed when we feel like doing something. You'll find out.
And now, Melanie.
Well, I'm famous for my rants.
Yes, she is.
I am. And I came across one today. It was today, right? Yeah.
It was today. It was in the
Jim and I,
New York Times crossword.
Yeah. So Jim and I, we do I've been doing Wordle now for several years, and Jim had never done Wordle before, and I showed it to him, and he's a word guy. We play Scrabble and do all the things, works with friends and all that, and he now is addicted to Wordle. So during the time when he was looking for the job, and even now that he's got his own office and everything, we have this friendly little competition where we'll do the Wordle, and we'll do connections, and we'll do the New York Times mini crossword.
Right.
And where it's timed, and you're supposed to see, how much. Okay, first of all, my first complaint. They keep asking questions that have to do with shoes. Why are they obsessed with shoes? I don't get that. So I never get those answers. I always have to look them up. What is the strap on it? Okay, I happen to know the flip-flop one because when I was a kid, we called them thongs. That's the only reason I knew that one. But when you're asking me for name brands or what they're made out of or what foot they go on, I don't know. I don't wear shoes. Leave me alone. Stop it. But they also ask a bunch of stuff about stars, current TV, whatever. I never get those either. But usually you can figure out the rest of them or, fill in the letters because you know all the other ones. So I'll go through and I'll do all the ones I know, and then I'll come back and I'm like, I have no clue, but maybe if I get this one or this one, then I can kind of mess with the letters until I get one that fits. And then sometimes I just have to look them up. So today, one of them was what the E in the mnemonic never eat shredded wheat stands for. And I'm like, okay, I went through all of them. Kings play chess on fat girls' stomachs. Never fear ice cold beer. I'm going through all the ones I know from chemistry, from math, PEMDAS, and on and on and on. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I'm trying to think of what could that possibly be. I don't recognize that one, and I know most of them. I've even invented some of them, like some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on acid. That's how you remember sine, cosine, and tangent. And it's, so I'm going through all my math, all my science, all of it, and I did not know that one. I'd never heard that one before. Well, it turns out that never eat shredded wheat, which frankly, that's terrible because shredded wheat is awesome and I love it.
Shredded wheat has been one of my spoon-sized shredded wheat has been one of my favorite cereals since I was a child.
Yeah,
since the 1970s.
My grandma would do this thing where you'd soak it in just a tiny bit of hot water, and then you put brown sugar on it, and then milk and my gird.
Now all I want is shredded wheat.
Well,
See?
and then Triscuits are basically shredded wheat with salt on them, and they're
Those
wonderful and divine. Those we have, they're hidden. And they're wonderful and divine, and like the perfect cracker, even though, they shred your face and the other end as they come out. But still, why would you not eat shredded wheat? So I don't even understand that to begin with. Okay, so I finally looked it up, and apparently this is what they're giving to poor children who are learning the cardinal directions north, east, southwest. Why?
If you can't remember something as simple as northeast, southwest, you've got bigger problems than eating shredded wheat.
And it doesn't help because never eat shredded wheat doesn't tell me which direction to point. It doesn't help.
Besides, who goes north, east, south, and west? You go north, south, east, west.
Everybody knows that. Well, I think it's because they're going in order of the compass.
Okay, all right. Well, that I will. Yeah,
But
okay,
that still makes
all right.
it dumb. You do opposites. Opposites are easy to remember, and you do them by using your arms. And I wish I was on video right now. But you do north, you point your arm up. South, you point your other arm down. East, you point. Well, if you're facing the map, you point left, and east, you point right, and left. I'm ambidextrous, so I get my left and right messed up, so it wouldn't help me anyway. All I'm saying is, growing up in Washington State, north was Seattle, south was Olympia, east was the mountains, and west was the water. You always knew where you were. In Nevada, in Las Vegas, you're screwed. You have to use your... There's just no way. There is no way you can tell which way it's north, south, east, or west when you're in Las Vegas because it's a giant circle. You just never know where you're going. But is this not the, by far, stupidest
It is.
mnemonic device?
I mean,
In the history of ever. It's so dumb. And it doesn't help.
doesn't at all help. No.
And shredded wheat is wonderful, and we should encourage children to eat it. So it is wrong on every level imaginable.
I'm writing to Post cereals and letting them know
Well,
they
they're not
need,
the ones who
to
came up with it.
I know, I'm
They
just
should
letting
be
them know
suing-
that they need to. That's what I'm saying. Write them and let them know they need to sue whoever came up with this.
Whoever the morons are that came up with this, you're wrong. Shredded wheat is wonderful, and north is up, south is down, west is left, east is right.
Dirt.
Moss grows on the west side of the trees, and the sun sets in the east.
West.
See? Your stupid shredded wheat mnemonic did not help me. You made it all worse. And now I'm scarred for life, and how dare you?
Yeah.
Anyways, that is my rant for this week. Thank you. I'd like to say I'd be here all week, but I probably will be here all week. And let's head on into...
Counterculture Wise is proud to present News of the Weird and Wonderful. Here are your hosts, Melanie Hope and Jim Monis.
Yay!
Yay, us. All right.
Your turn.
Yay.
Oh, see, science. We love science here.
Science is
And
good.
we love shredded wheat. So science and shredded wheat. Now I really want those Triscuits.
I want some shredded
There
wheat.
shall be Triscuits. Well, there's pupusas, though. As soon as we're done here, we're going to make pupusas for a
dinner.
gathering that we're having with friends. And I made the pickled cabbage stuff that the name, I cannot remember what it's called. But I made some.
Criticism or something. I don't know. There's the letters in it. For
Somebody
many people,
somewhere out there knows.
For many people, prime numbers have faded into the background since distant grade school days. However, for Luke Durant, a 36-year-old former NVIDIA programmer...
Curtido.
Great.
That's the cabbage.
Okay, thanks for
the
that.
cabbage
Okay,
slaw made for pupusas.
Prime numbers became an all-consuming passion. He devoted nearly 1 year and invested a considerable sum of his own money to uncover the world's largest known prime number.
Now, I was literally just talking with one of my math students about this week before this article came out, because I said, yeah, they're like up in the millions. Mm-hmm. Well, 41 million to be exact.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they gave it a label. Why didn't they just give it? Oh, because it's 41 million digits. So you can't
Yeah,
just call the
that's
name.
why. If you need a refresher, prime number is a whole number that can be only divided by 1 in itself, such as 2, 3, 5, and 7. Durant's remarkable discovery, officially called M136279841, consists of, like Melanie Hope said, an astounding 41,024,320 digits, and marks the first prime breakthrough in almost 6 years. Who would need this anyway?
Well, for the reason that we're still calculating pi.
Yeah, I guess. Unlike other large prime numbers used in... Wait a minute. Okay. The historic finding is classified as a Mersenne prime, which is named after the French monk Marin Mersenne, not to be confused with Marcel Marceau, who uttered the only famous word in a movie once, no, who studied these numbers more than 350 years ago. Mersenne primes are a rare kind of number, making Durant's finding of the 52nd known Mersenne prime even more impressive. A number is only considered a Mersenne prime if it can be written in the form 2p minus 1. I have no idea what that means, of course. Unlike other large prime numbers used in some applications to protect internet security, Mersenne primes are important for other reasons. The historical record of the world's largest prime tells us something about the historical capability of computers. Okay, I can see that. And in particular, it tells us something about the progress of humanity in this
Why are they
era.
calling it the world's largest prime? It's just the next largest that you've discovered, but that doesn't mean there aren't more in the world.
Well, yeah, there's going to be others. There's
So it's
always
not the
going to be
world's
others.
largest prime. It's just the largest prime we know
Largest
of.
we're aware of. Yeah, we got a ways to go before we find another one, but I mean,
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
when you start out, you get 1, 2, 3, 5. I mean, they're right next to each other. So,
They get farther apart, though.
yeah.
And I've never seen an article go so long. I mean, there's
It goes on and on and
there's
on
like
and on
40
and on and on and on and on.
There's
Yeah.
an astounding 41,024,320 24,320 words in this article. So I'm gonna just pass that by. But yeah, I just want to let you all know that is pretty cool, though.
That is. No.
That is amazing.
That is quite cool. And yeah, so I wonder how far we've gotten pi out to. And I think it's in the hundreds of millions now, but we'll see. But speaking of hundreds of millions, let's talk about monkeys.
And this is National Novel Writing Month, so writing is important.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that old thing about if you had an infinite number of monkeys typing on an infinite number of typewriters, you would eventually get Shakespeare. Turns out it's debunked. I always had an idea. I love this picture, though.
Yeah. Monkey
Fantastic.
saying,
The infinite monkey theorem is thought experiment used to explain some basic principles of probability and randomness. It posits that a monkey or an infinite number of monkeys given typewriters and an infinite amount of time would eventually type out the complete works of William Shakespeare. UTS mathematicians Stephen Woodcock and Jay Fayetta probably, have taken on the thought experiment in a lighthearted research project. In an epic, actually moment, neither one of them's named Kevin. Okay. They have crushed the dreams of monkeys everywhere. The infinite monkey theorem only considers the infinite limit with either an infinite number of monkeys or an infinite time period of monkey labor. Well, they really are taking it seriously. It is clearly outlandish. It's much more feasible to consider a finite number of monkeys. Duh. We decided to look at the probability of a given string of letters being typed by a finite number of monkeys within a finite time period consistent with estimates for the lifespan of our universe, he explains. The point is that monkeys wouldn't have an infinite amount of time to type out Shakespeare's complete works. That's because the universe is predicted to end in about 10 to the 100th power of years. That's 1 with 100 zeros after it, as powers work, in case you did not know. Woodcock and Fayetta crunched some numbers using computers, because I personally like crunchy numbers by stomping on them like grapes, but you use computers, you do you.
Absolutely.
They assumed an average keyboard with 30 keys. They ran, in other words, QWERTY. They ran the simulation for a single monkey as well as for the current global population of about 200,000 chimpanzees. Yes, chimps aren't strictly monkeys, but honestly, given the nature of this research, I think we can let that slide.
Let's.
This is kind of fun. How did the simulated monkeys and apes do? It's possible, they found, for a single monkey to type the word bananas in its own lifetime. A useful skill, to be sure. But the bard's entire works, 884,647 words, give or take, will almost never be typed by monkeys randomly mashing keys before the universe ends. It is not plausible that even with improved typing speeds or an increase in chimpanzee populations, monkey labor will ever be a viable tool for developing non-trivial written words, the authors write. Why did they go for a lesser ape? Why didn't they go for like an actual monkey? I'm surprised that they didn't do that. It's because it seems to me that a lesser ape would be more contemplative, whereas just like a little monkey would be more playful and smacking the keys more often, but
right.
That's just me. It's not plausible that, even with improved typing speeds or an increase in chimpanzee, I read that, it seems like much ado about nothing. Cute. But the research does highlight the importance of being earnest, cute, and remembering the finiteness of things when discussing possibility. Woodcock says this places the infinite monkey theorem in a group of probability puzzles and paradoxes. Oh, I love the alliteration. Where using the idea of infinite resources gives results that don't match up with what we get when we consider the constraints of our universe. But what have the monkeys to say about this? Well, actually, in 2002, researchers at the University of Plymouth in the UK actually tested the infinite monkey theorems with real monkeys. They left a computer in the enclosure of 6 celebes? Crested... Oh my God, macaques? Help me. Celebes crested macaques? It's not macaques, because that's a bird. Macaques? Monkeys.
Real monkeys.
They were monkeys.
Just monkeys.
Over nearly 2 months, the monkeys produced a total of 5 pages consisting largely of the letter S. S. The lead male also hit the machine with a stone before the rest of the troop urinated and defecated on the machine.
Macacas.
That is literally every writer I have ever worked with as an editor.
Sorry, I was looking for the word macacas and didn't see it initially. So that's just
Literally every writer. Okay. Poetic in its own way, but not really Romeo and Juliet. The rest is silence. Whoever wrote this was brilliant. Good job. Let's go back up and see. Let's see. Evrim Yazjin, well written.
very well done.
I appreciate
Very
that.
well done.
I used to subscribe to Cosmos. So I love that magazine. Back when magazines were a thing, and kids would knock on your door and sell them to you. So I actually, on our website, I do have the link for the actual study. If you are interested in reading, it's a little bit dry,
It's very scientific.
not as fun as that article was. But head on over to counterculturewise.com where you can find all the stuff that we're selling and this article as well. Your turn.
All right. I was in a show once called The Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies.
All right. The Molly Brown House Museum, a popular destination in Denver, continues to draw tens of thousands of visitors each year, offering a glimpse into the life of Titanic survivor and philanthropist Margaret Molly Brown. But beyond its historical draw, the museum has a mysterious guest who adds an extra thrill for visitors. Ghost Cat, an unseen feline rumored to haunt the Victorian-era home. Andrea Malcolm, historic Denver vice president and museum director, shared her own encounters with a spirited tabby.
How do they know it's a tabby?
I think they're just using that as just a generic term for a cat, because it sounds cuter than just saying cat, cat, cat over and over again.
Okay.
Maybe that's how you conjure up the cat, by saying cat, cat, cat.
Cat, cat, cat.
I felt something cold brush against me right about here, Malcolm said, pointing to her ankle. Well, that's where a cat would be felt. There are plenty of potential spirits wandering around this home, she added. Guests and staff alike have reported brushes with the spectral cat, with sightings particularly frequent in the museum's kitchen.
That would make sense.
Yes, if you lived with our cats, you'd certainly feel that way. This is most often where we see people see Ghost Cat, Malcolm said, pointing at the kitchen. Maybe he's looking for a special snack or treat to have. Visitors often report a feline presence, some even hearing meows. They'll come out and say, "So what's the cat's name?" said Malcolm, and our staff will say, "What cat?" They'll say, "The cat that rubbed against my ankle in the kitchen." Jerry Moore, a visitor from Wisconsin, is keeping an eye out for Ghost Cat. You would think I would see it because cats for some reason are attracted to me, Ashmore laughed, though he admits he's allergic to the real-life animals.
That's why they're attracted to him.
For those who do catch a glimpse, the experience is fleeting. If you see Ghost Cat, don't expect it to stick around, Malcolm advised, describing how the feline apparition quickly vanishes. And while Malcolm is a proud cat owner herself, she speculates that her own sassy cat likely wouldn't befriend the ghostly feline. With Ghost Cat's growing fame, the museum has even launched themed merchandise in its honor.
Aw.
People love to talk about it, Malcolm
That's the best
said.
picture they could come up with, a cat with chicken feet.
I don't know. Probably a child's drawing. Hard to say. People love to talk about it, Malcolm said, noting how Ghost Cat has become a beloved spectral ambassador of the historic site. As for the origins of the Ghost Cat, Malcolm admits it's a mystery. They were definitely animal lovers, and there was probably a cat here in the house, she said, speaking of the Brown family. Ghost Cat's legend only adds to the allure of the Molly Brown House Museum, preserving a playful mystery that resonates with history lovers and thrill seekers alike. As Malcolm puts it, yes, 9 afterlives, all the kitties here.
9 afterlives, cute. All right, good news.
Good news.
Hopefully very soon, planes will not be dropping out of the sky anymore.
Yay.
So Boeing,
Yeah,
yeah, slashes its DEI department.
finally.
Now, the question is, though, did they get rid of the DEI department only to replace it with something that does the same thing, but they
No.
call it something different?
Not according to what I'm reading here.
Okay. Why is the plane green?
Don't know.
Never seen a green plane. Okay. Machinists are also set to vote on a contract proposal that would deliver 38% wage increase. I would love a 5% wage increase. The company I contract with lowered my wages during COVID and has not ever since raised them. And if you ask, they freak out and tell you, no, you're getting paid more than anybody here. No, I'm really not. And I know that because all of my students' parents complained that their fees got raised, but mine didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Boeing dismantled its Global Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department on Thursday, according to a report by Bloomberg. The report stated staff from Boeing's DEI office will be combined with another human resources team. See, they're not going anywhere. Focused on talent and employee experience. Today I turned in my blue badge, Bowen said on her LinkedIn post.
Bowen who?
I don't care. Sarah Bowen, the vice president of 6 paragraphs long, whatever the crap.
She's resigning.
Is she?
Yeah, the Boeing vice president.
Oh, yeah,
leading
she
DEI
okay.
department.
Fine, I'll read it. Sarah Bowen, Boeing's vice president,
just
leading the
don't
DEI
skip ahead.
department. Also announced her registration. Well, it's like her title's so long, I got bored. Also announced her registration. Blah, 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 blah. Resignation from the company on LinkedIn. Now, you know what? I can make this bigger. Check this out. Boink. Nope. Boink. There we go.
There you go.
Hey, look at me.
Look at you. I do it all the time.
Aw. On purpose even. Sometimes without that weird look in your eyes. Not that often, though. Okay, so Sarah Bowen. Boeing's, I think it was the Boeing. Boeing. Vice president leading the DEI department also announced her resignation from the company on LinkedIn. So she resigned. She didn't have to. Today I turned in my blue badge, Bowen said in her LinkedIn post. It has been the privilege of my lifetime to lead equity, diversity, and inclusion at the Boeing company these past 5+ years. Only thousands of people died because of my efforts. I could have done better, but they actually made me hire a white guy every now and then. Our team strive every day to support the evolving brilliance and creativity of our workforce, not by hiring the best and the brightest, but by hiring people based on the color of their skin, what was between their legs, or what they thought might be between their legs, or what they might get cut off from between their legs, but not because of they were being good at what they did. The team achieved so much. How many doors flew off? How many hinges fell off? How many bolts went flying out of the sky? How many times did the landing gear not land? The team achieved so much, sometimes imperfectly, never easily, and dreamed of doing so much more. All of it has been worth it.
Sounds a bit defensive to me.
In her case, yes.
Yeah.
The DEI department is the latest staffing cuts within the company, as 17,000 jobs are reportedly on the chopping block for layoffs by early next year because their planes keep crashing.
And you can't do anything about your space station either.
Oh, that's right. And you also leave people stranded, and Elon
Yeah.
has to bail you out. The move comes as a striking members of the International Association of Machinist Aerospace Workers, or IAM, are scheduled to vote on a new contract offer Monday over 33,000. We suck. We put out shoddy work. Pay us more. According to a news release from IAM, the new contract proposal will deliver a 38% wage increase over 4 years and a $12,000 ratification bonus. It would also reinstate Boeing's aerospace. God, these guys get paid why don't you become a machinist?
Wish I had.
Why did I marry a broken down old Marine that doesn't get paid doodly squat? You should be a machinist.
Way too late for that.
Murph. Okay. Aerospace.
I'd still be in Seattle.
Okay, there's that. Instead of beautiful, fabulous Texas. I don't want to read anymore because I'm getting a little miffed at how much these guys get paid for doing crappy work and having the planes fall out of the sky. So,
Well, maybe getting rid of the DEI department may affect that positively. We'll see.
Maybe, but it sounds like they just got cannibalized into another HR department, and they're all kind of the same. Why is that news of the weird and wonderful?
I like this.
All right, this one's fun.
Yeah, this one's fun. The fastest wheelbarrow in the world is in central Iowa. John Lawry from Des Moines has driven his motorized wheelbarrow nearly 60 miles an hour in Mitchellville. I mean, you see the photos, like, get your motor running.
Actually, I got a video. There's no
cool.
sound, so I'll play the video while you read.
All right. KCCI told you about Lawry's attempt to have the fast motorized wheelbarrow last week on Saturday. He sped the three-wheeled gardening tool at 57 miles an hour, breaking the Guinness World Record for fastest in the world. The previous record was held in Wales at 52 miles an hour.
I don't think counts if it's motorized. I think the fastest wheelbarrow should be people powered.
Well, it wouldn't be much fun. I mean, you
Well,
know,
I'm just saying it
doesn't sound to be a whole
what
much,
is what is
much
the
of fun at all.
point? What is the point of a motorized wheelbarrow? It's not like you're gonna fill it full of dirt and drive it across the yard.
I mean, it's just one of those things you do for goof. It isn't anything, it's not going to accomplish anything.
No, speaking of things you do for a goof, this is a cute goof. I like this one. So apparently there was well, here, I'll see if the story tells, because sometimes I'll like tell the story, but then the story tells the story. So let's read the story and see if the story tells the story. You know what I mean? The
No.
backstory.
Oh,
That's
backstory. Yeah, okay.
All right. Urban pond where goldfish used to swim beneath a leaky New York City fire hydrant has been replaced by a new makeshift aquarium days after the city unceremoniously paved over the old one due to safety concerns. Did they get the fish out first?
You know, New York City is weird about animals. We'll find out more in a little bit about that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping.
Industrious Brooklynites have taken waterproof liner, bath tiles, concrete blocks, and gravel and fashioned a new urban pond in a tree bed next to the now repaired hydrant. So you basically got this little makeshift pond. So cute. It's all
It is
walled
cute.
off. On Friday afternoon, roughly 40 goldfish were darting. Wow, 40 in that tiny little thing? Okay. 40 goldfish were darting around the new environs, which were built Wednesday and featured fake, brightly colored plants, stones, and other aquarium decorations. Surprised no bum is peed in it or people
Well,
haven't
not
fished
yet.
them out. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
It's cute though. Stop by. This is so cool. Local residents that help manage the ponds and volunteers soon hope to outfit the aquarium with solar-powered filtration system to replace the current battery-powered one.
That'd be cool.
They also need to acquire a heating system before winter sets in and have visions of setting up a live stream so their admirers worldwide can tune in. Cute. The so-called Bedstoy.
Bedford Stuyvesant.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
You're not going to explain that. You're just going to cross your arms.
That's the name of the neighborhood, Bedford.
Okay, Bedford Stuyvesant. Okay.
Yeah.
Is searchable on Google Maps and has its own Instagram and TikTok accounts managed by Shaw and other residents. But the 44-year-old architect lamented that the aquarium had been easier to manage under the leaky hydrant. The steady stream from the hydrant had provided a constant source of fresh water, so a filter system wasn't really needed, he explained. They seemed happier over there, Shaw said, gesturing to the hydrant surrounded by a now pristine slab of concrete. Passers-by watched intently as he sprinkled fish food into the water, cleared out falling leaves, and took water quality readings. Wow, they're really into this. Shaw said it's the fourth incarnation of Gorilla Pond, which originally formed when the leaky hydrant carved out a shallow pool in broken concrete, prompting residents to fill it with store-bought goldfish. People concerned about the welfare of the fish staged a rescue over the summer, but resolute residents restocked the pool and set up a watch. The site has only grown more elaborate with painted benches and chairs and decorations. It's actually become like a little park where they gather. That's so cute. There's even a sign designed to look like an official New York City Parks Department plaque affixed to the tree that reads Bed-Stuy Aquarium. Okay, that is so cute.
That is cute.
That is really cute.
This
I
one,
like it when neighborhoods get together and do fun things like that. So it's
Yeah.
nice to know that it happens even in New York.
this one was in the running for Wonderfuller, so it's a really cool story.
Okay.
A roofer who fixed an animal,
Blah, blah, blah.
a roofer who fixed a
Woof,
rescue,
woof.
fixed a. Oh man, you threw me off with a roof.
Woof, woof.
A roofer who fixed a rescue shelter's barn roof for free says he was inspired after meeting a worker in a hospital who was in agony but was more concerned for her animals. The team at Copper Shell Animal Rescue at Gastard in Wiltshire were struggling to find 20,000 pounds to replace their leaking barn roof. Matt Acorte from the sanctuary said he was extremely grateful for the help. Stuart Weston said donating his time and sourcing materials for free seemed the right thing to do. I don't normally do this. I met the shelter's trustee, Kenna, at the Royal United Hospital in Bath when my wife was rushed to the hospital earlier this year. She mentioned the barn roof needed fixing. She was in agony but was more concerned about the animals than herself. Mr. Weston said stripping the old roof and installing the new panels on the barn took a week to complete. I've got a thing about karma. I believe if you do something right for people, it'll come back to you. I once won 55,000 pounds on a football bet after helping an old lady across the road. Mr. Weston has been back to visit the animal shelter.
Things are related, but okay.
I don't think they are. 3 times since the repair and said he expects he will be friends with the team for a long time. Mr. Court said the repair job was something shelter would never have been able to do by itself, or would have taken us a long time to have raised that amount of money. It was a massive 20,000-pound job. All the animals greatly appreciated it.
That's really sweet. I love goats.
I love goats too.
They're just so quirky. I want a goat. Ladies and gentlemen, head on over to counterculturewise.com and contribute to the Melanie Gets a Goat Fund. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Well, those were fun. Those were palate cleansing.
Yes, they were. Just in time for this.
Just in time for this. Now see, that's why we can't have nice things.
Fritzy is so upset.
Fritzy is really upset about this one. She came in, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. Yeah, she is not happy about this one. I guess it's my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's my turn. In the end, it may have just been too much cheddar to make a clean getaway. Oh, we're going to go with the puns, aren't we, Gabby?
Yes, we are.
Here we go. A 63-year-old man has been arrested after more than 24 tons of artisanal cheese. The word stealing is gone. It just says he has been arrested after more than that many from famous dairy. Oh, was stolen. I hate it when they write passively. Don't write passively because it actually makes it more difficult to understand. Pro tip. Okay, a 63-year-old man was arrested after he stole more than 24 tons of artisanal cheese.
That's a lot of cheese.
That is a lot of frickin' cheese. The man was detained on suspicion of fraud by false representation and handling stolen goods. Fondling his curds in a way. He was taken to a South London police station where he was questioned.
Oh, what's all this then?
And has since been released on bail pending further inquiries. A spokesman for the Metropolitan Police said the cheese, worth over $390,000, was taken from London cheese specialist Neil Yard's Dairy on October 21st. Company said on
It's a
Instagram.
very clean shop. Well, it's certainly uncontaminated by cheese. Sorry, I had to throw in the Monty there.
Certainly uncontaminated by cheese. Oh my! Wow, look at those. That's how they. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Update. We learned that the Metropolitan Police made an arrest in connection with the theft. We are grateful for the progress they have made, and we will continue to support the investigation. I want to know, how do you get away with that much cheese? In an update to the post caption, on October, we learned, made an arrest, yardy, we're grateful, and we'll continue. Okay. Fraudulent buyer posing as a wholesale distributor for a major French retailer nabbed the 950 wheels of cloth-wrapped artisanal cheddar, the company said. Every wheel of cheese had been delivered before it realized it had been scammed. Wait, every wheel of cheese had been delivered before each wheel of cheese realized it had been scammed? Who's the author? You need to be fired.
They work for
Sorry,
NBC
Gabby.
News.
This
They work
is
for NBC
terrible.
News. That's all you need to say.
It might not even been Gabby, but the editor. Guys, if you need an editor, talk to me. These cheese wheels did not realize they had been scammed, okay?
The retailer realized it had been scammed. Oh, well.
Guys!
The company got scammed. not the
Okay.
cheese.
Every
All right.
wheel of cheese is the subject. Therefore, the it in that sentence is the cheese. Okay. 3 no wonder Fritzy was upset. This is really bad writing. 3 cheeses from 3 different suppliers were stolen. Hayford Welsh Organic Cheddar, Westcombe Cheddar, and Pitchfork Cheddar. Neil's Yard Dairy said that, quote, despite the significant financial blow, it has paid each of its artisan cheesemakers in full for its product. That's really kind. That's
good.
really, really decent. Tom Calver of Westcombe said in a video on Instagram that it was a hoax. It was a theft. It was fraud. Behind him were rows of empty shelves in the dairy, showcasing how much
Oh,
cheese
wow.
was
Yeah, look at
taken.
that. Oh,
Yipe.
that's sad.
Yipe. Yipe. News! Cheese theft! Well, that's a lot of exclamation
I think
marks.
he said, blessed are the cheesemakers. Why do I keep going back to Monty Python?
Because you can't help it! Besides, we got the word cheesemaker. Another
Exactly.
cheesemaker. The Treethowen brothers, which supplied the pitchfork cheddar, said Neil's Yard Dairy fully and swiftly paid despite the theft. That's really sweet. They didn't have to do
That was good.
The way they have handled this horrible situation has only deepened our respect and admiration for them. We are proud to supply them and call them our friends. That's heartwarming. See, this belonged in good things. Even our can't have nice things is a good thing today.
Yeah.
It's a little bit cheesy, but come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, even British chef Jamie Oliver is spreading the word about the great cheese robbery. And they go on about that person. But, this is really, 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 really decent. I had no idea that's how cheese was stored.
Well,
And so the wheels come off of those doohickeys.
mm-hmm.
Because I thought they were already wheels, so wow.
No, that
Now
cut it
I
off of
want
that.
cheese and Triscuits.
Are you sure you don't want bologna?
Do I want bologna?
Well, this is
I'm
a bunch
not
of
entirely
bologna.
sure I want bologna.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest.
it's never been one of my favorite snack meats.
See, I like bologna, but it's got to be, you
Well,
know.
I like bologna if it's in a sandwich with other luncheon meats, like
Turkey. And
turkey or salami, or even luncheon meat like Spam. You know, there's a combination.
How could you like Spam, but not like bologna?
I don't know.
See, I'm like bologna butter, have a nice day, or bologna with lots and lots of mayonnaise, but
Presidio, Texas, here in the good old Lone Star State, people don't seem to care. A woman was fined after officers seized over 700 pounds of illegal bologna hidden within her suitcases.
There's illegal bologna?
There's illegal bologna. I will explain that in a moment.
Okay, but Jim,
Yes.
haven't you been known for smuggling bologna? I think you might be
Every
smuggling
single
some.
show. Every single show I smuggle bologna. That's
Oh, Lordy.
anyway. Officers from U.S.
How
Customs.
do you get 700 pounds of bologna in a suitcase?
It's a very big one.
It must be.
Officers from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, became suspicious when a 43-year-old female U.S. citizen crossing the border from Mexico declared nothing more than a cooked meal. Dimwit. A secondary, I'm sorry, not a very smart thing to do.
Declared nothing more than a cooked meal?
A
Well,
secondary,
I mean, it's 700 pounds of cooked bologna meal.
Yeah. A secondary inspection uncovered multiple suitcases which seemed heavier than normal, according to a release from the organization. How do you define normal there, government? Upon opening the suitcases, officers found 40 rolls of Mexican pork bologna, or bologna, which is illegal in the United States due to Mexican pork's potential to spread, quote, foreign animal diseases to the U.S. pork industry. In other words, it's cheaper. It would be, it's too much competition for our stuff, so we're not going to let it again. I don't know.
So we're not worried about fentanyl now. We're worried about bologna.
Bologna. And that's why you can't have nice things. Anyway.
Wait, why are we looking at? 280 boxes of undeclared.
See, there was
prescription
other
medicines.
stuff.
Okay, sorry. my
Additionally,
bad.
further investigation revealed more than 280 boxes of undeclared prescription medicines, including tramadol, a Schedule IV controlled substance.
What does tramadol do?
Oh, well, why don't you find out while I'm reading the rest
Okay.
of this?
I just thought,
Officers also found.
since you're my senior, that you just know all this stuff already.
Yeah. Officers also found over 7,600 meows. I'm sorry, we have some editorial
commentary.
department
Well,
on
the
the
bells
other
are
side of the door.
ringing. Bells will be ringing.
All
The
right.
sad, sad news. The dog's gotta go outside, and the cat has the blues. Yes.
The woman was fined $1,000 and the 748 pounds of bologna were destroyed. Wow. That's a lot of meat, man. That's a lot of dead pigs for nothing.
Yeah.
We stress that it is important that travelers educate themselves on what products are allowed to be legally entered from abroad, said the CBP Presidio Port Officer Benito Reyes Jr.
That's a lot of wasted food. I mean, how
And
many how many illegal Mexicans could have eaten for weeks on that?
I
Well, I
don't
mean,
know.
if we're importing the illegal people, we might as well import the illegal food, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't really completely trust food that was just smuggled over the border. I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, I contradicted what I said a few minutes ago, but I don't know. So this tramadol stuff. What is tramadol?
It's an opioid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's bad stuff. Bad. You can overdose. You can get addicted.
What's its intended use?
Pain.
Pain. Okay.
See, here's the thing. I've been saying that a lot today.
A lot.
They're saying not only do you have all the side effects and all that stuff, and it's addictive and yada yada, but it's a pain reliever that you're supposed to couple with acetaminophen. Well, if I still have to take Tylenol, what's the point of taking an opioid that's going to possibly get me addicted
To relieve
and kill
the pain
me?
more, I guess, or just make it happen quicker. I couldn't tell you.
See, I'm allergic to opiates, so I guess that makes me lucky that they never give me that garbage at the doctor's.
It's funny. There's been more than one time when you've said I'm allergic to opioids, and what do they serve up to
And
you?
then they try to
They prescribe it?
Yeah, the
Crazy.
pain clinic in Vegas did that to me. We went to go fulfill it. Not only was it like $800, but it was an opioid. It's like, well, I couldn't even take that if I wanted to. Well, if it ain't bologna, or it ain't cheese, if it ain't things that are making your bowels explode,
And make other
it's
things
things
explode.
that actually do
This
explode.
is from my old stomping grounds of Salinas, California.
Oh my. Oh my.
From the NBC affiliate I used to
A
watch.
high explosive anti-tank rocket was found in a Salinas home. I wonder what they're going to do with that. A real estate agent, oh my, prepping for an estate sale, stumbled upon a 2.5-foot high explosive anti-tank rocket, HEAT, sitting inside the home's closet, just chilling.
So a guy dies, just go through his stuff.
I
And
guess he
there's
didn't get to
there's
blow
a
up.
missile.
Yeah. We're talking about a high energy device that is capable of blowing up a tank.
Yeah, baby.
Salinas Police and the Montgomery County Sheriff's Explosive Ordnance Unit. Really? Seriously? How many? I mean, could you put like 7 more words in there? Responded to the scene and began evacuating the neighborhood. So it's been in there all this time. And you find it, you're like, what? Better evacuate the neighborhood. Our team was able to take a look at the device using some sophisticated equipment and confirmed that it did seem to be volatile and a danger. But
I mean, if it's just sitting there,
it's
then
been
there's
chilling in
no
the
harm.
closet
But if
for
you're going to
like-
move it, then
I
you'd want to
suppose.
call
How
out
did this
the.
guy get it? He said a device like this heat rocket has the potential to cause significant damage. They say the potential explosion radius is unpredictable. Imagine if this device can blow up a tank, what can it do to a house? And what can it do to a neighborhood? One neighbor living next door to the rocket said she had no idea it was there the whole time. That's a little scary. I mean, anything could go off, said Rebecca Roderick. The evacuation radius was set to 500 feet to create a buffer zone for safety if something went wrong during the removal process. If it can take out a tank, do you think 500 feet is big enough?
Not
They
really.
should have just evacuated the whole state, sent them all to Mexico, and see if they get free health care there. I might be a little bitter about the free health care thing.
Maybe just a bit.
The officer showed me the x-ray of the missile, which is really wild, Roderick said. He said, see how it's all dark? That means there's a lot of stuff in it. What do you bet it's bologna?
More kinds of stuff.
There might be bologna in it.
Yeah.
Imagine how explosive
Or
it
stolen
would be
cheese.
with Mexican bologna and stolen cheddar, yeah. You know what we need now? We need a BREAD rocket. I'm on it, Chief. Maybe
I think there's one on the subway.
Maybe a little bit of mustard gas, and I think we're there. What do you think?
Hey, you, catch up.
There you go. Oh, I see what you did there. You don't put ketchup on bologna sandwiches.
No, you don't.
No.
You don't. You don't even put bologna in bologna sandwiches. You throw the nasty stuff away.
Says you.
Yep.
Bologna is wonderful, as is shredded wheat, which you should eat, and just know north, south, east, west. Now, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office said they do not know if the deceased homeowner realized the item he possessed was still active. The These can be taken home as souvenirs by service members, or they can be collected from a yard sale, not realizing the danger. Can you imagine going to a yard sale and going, huh, that looks cool. I'm just going to stick that missile as a yard decoration next to my garden gnome. And it turns out the thing's like nuclear.
Put a hole in that gnome anyway.
That would be a hole in the gnome in Nome, Alaska. That would be my luck. Is I would come home with like what looks like a bird feeder, and it turns out that it's a nuclear explosive device or something. That would totally be my luck. What? I got it for 75
Woodpecker
cents.
arrives, tappity tappity
Yeah,
boom.
tappity tappity boom, boom. Mushroom cloud. God, that would so be me. All right. Finding an explosive of this magnitude in a home in Salinas is a unique occurrence. I hope so. However, the sheriff's office says it is not abnormal for Monterey County due to a former military base, Fort Ord. Okay, all right.
Which I've been to.
I'll buy that. Of course you've been there. Rosa says if you come across any explosive-looking device, even if you're not sure what it is, always back away and report it to the police. But every time I do that, they say, you're married to the man, get over it.
That was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Explosive Ordnance Unit, Bomb Squad, are FBI-trained professionals trained to safely handle these situations. Well, I'm glad they had trained professionals to remove what looks like a bomb covered in duct tape. Oh, these are weird this week.
Yeah, this one's pretty bad.
Oh, this one's bad. Yee.
This is also straight
I'm
out
gonna
of
let
a
you
Monty
read.
Python
I'm gonna
sketch,
hide the title so you can just. Well,
Okay.
actually, the first sentence gives it to you.
That's
so.
okay. A surgeon at a crisis-hit NHS trust used a Swiss Army penknife to open up the chest of a patient because he claimed he could not find a sterile scalpel. Yeah. University Hospital Sussex has said the operation was an emergency, but the surgeons...
What crisis hit with what?
I don't know. We'll get there. We're outside normal procedures and should not have been necessary. Professor Graham Poston, an expert witness on clinical negligence and a former consultant surgeon, told the BBC, "It surprises me and appalls me. Firstly, a penknife is not sterile. Secondly, it is not an operating instrument. Thirdly, all the kit must have been there." Police are separately looking into at least 105 alleged medical negligence cases. 105 cases of alleged medical negligence at the trust and considering gross negligence, manslaughter, and corporate manslaughter charges. So that's the crisis. There are a bunch of idiots working there.
Well, I was expecting like Spain flooding or something. It's just a guy with a dope.
The surgeon in the penknife case that the BBC is not naming was operating on a patient at Royal Sussex Hospital in Brighton when he struggled to find a scalpel.
Question.
Why did you not have that ready to go?
No, my question. Who turned him in?
I don't know.
Because, second question, follow-up question. If you were so upset that you turned him in, why didn't you stop him?
I don't know. The surgeon in the penknife case, okay, who BBC is not named, was operating on a patient at Royal Sussex Hospital when he struggled to find a scalpel. Instead, he used a Swiss Army knife, which he normally used to cut fruit for his lunch.
Why are we saying this again?
Yum, yum. The patient survived, but internal documents show the surgeon's colleagues felt his behavior was questionable and were very surprised he was unable to find a scalpel.
Hey, oi!
Oh, I got a scalpel!
She was quite a peach! Oh, all right. Because he cut her, she was fruit, peach.
BBC also discovered the same surgeon carried out 3 supposedly low-risk operations in 2 months, where all 3 patients died soon after. The BBC has previously reported that 4 whistleblowers said patients had died unnecessarily and been effectively maimed at the trust. A former surgeon claimed a gang culture existed in the neurosurgery department. The same doctor alleged one surgeon had disproportionate deaths, and a second did complex operations without adequate training. An internal review conceded doctors could have saved the life of student Melissa Zogley had they acted sooner. Suspect, oh my God, Sussex, not suspect, although it does sound suspect, Sussex Police has recruited extra staff as part of its manslaughter probe concerning the trust. On and on. I mean, I don't even know. That's just insane. How is that medical trust still
People
open?
are dying left, right, and sideways. I wonder. Oh, look, training problems.
Training problems, you think?
I mean, wasn't there a TikTok trend of young students in, well, all over, I think, India and Africa?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a joke. I can't remember the exact country, but I think it was multiple. It's actually a joke that they take their parents' tests for them.
Right, we talked about that.
And they become nurses and doctors and whatnot. I wonder if this is another DEI situation. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. So go
Don't
down
know.
to where it says training problems.
All right, sure. Training problems. Health watchdog, the Care Quality Commission, looked at the deaths and concluded there had been no breach of regulations. Excuse me. University Hospital Sussex said, I can't read these things out loud anymore. Our investigations did not
Well, it's
raise
kind of your job, so get
University
with it, kid.
Hospital Sussex said our investigations did not raise concerns about the surgeries themselves, but did identify common themes for improvement. www.youthink.com, which
Y'all
we
think?
acted on immediately to ensure our services were as safe as possible. These
It's
included
not
better.
the services, it's the physicians who are not trained,
Yeah.
who aren't there on merit.
These included better communication with patients before and after surgery, improved training for end of
Better
life
communication. All right, so you got about a 60-40 chance of dying.
care. Yeah.
Well, it's the 60 or the 40. We're not sure. We're not even that good.
And strengthen processes, especially when care is transferred from one side to the other. Professor Poston said these operations usually had a 1% chance of ending in death.
So the 75% is probably should look at that.
After reviewing the surgeon's employment record, which included a long wait to become a consultant, Poston said, I do not know this individual, but you would be concerned that there were problems during the course of that training and progression through training. www.youthink.com,
You think-
part 5.
Yeah, page 5.
Shortly before the deaths, the operations had temporarily been moved to Worthing Hospital from a bigger site in nearby Brighton against some clinical advice. I don't understand how the British medical system works, so
Well, socialized medicine.
Yeah, well,
I'm not going to say another word
that's all you need to say.
because that's what we want here.
Yeah.
And next will come the death panels,
Yep.
just like in our neighbors to the north,
Yes.
Canada.
So this is an interesting
This is on its
story.
way as well. Now, I'm going to have to read this
on
whole
its way. This actually happened in New York.
Oh, well.
Even though it's the
more
Daily
of this
Mail, but
yeah,
it's-
more of this is on the way. But I'm going to have to read the whole story before I give my opinion on it because I can't believe the combinations of the words were innocent. I'm struggling with that. So
Okay.
let's see what we got here. If you hear a sudden screech, it's because I have Max on my feet and the little one is trying to get Max to play, and Max isn't having it, so the little one's trying to play with me now. And
He
that
just
means-
has. He just has
that
so
means
much energy.
lots of
He
teeth
does.
and claws, so I'm just warning y'all. All right, let's take a look at this. A woman has revealed the 4 words you should avoid Googling to ensure the police do not pay an unexpected visit to your house. Michelle Catalano and her husband from Long Island, New York, were browsing for everyday household items back in 2013 when they unexpectedly ran into trouble. Recounting the events following the incident, she wrote in her blog at the time, Googling of certain things was creating a perfect storm of terrorism profiling. I probably have the FBI. I'm on the FBI list for sure.
I would imagine.
Especially when you're a writer and you're doing research on a job.
Yeah.
You might want to grab Frankie because he's trying to get Max to play, and it's not happening. Max is too old and cranky for this little guy. Get one of his toys. Yes, here on Counterculture Boys, we are nothing if not professional. Let us play with our cats in the middle of a podcast. Michelle, a freelance writer, wanted to order herself a pressure cooker while her husband was looking to purchase a new rucksack. Okay. This led to them carrying out separate searches online for the items they both wanted, an exercise that would not normally cause alarm in the police force. So they're in separate accounts in separate locations. And he's Googling a rucksack, which is, what is a rucksack? That's like a duffel bag, right?
It's like a duffel bag or a backpack. Yeah.
Okay. However, her husband typed in keywords for both items from his work computer 2 days later, just prior to quitting his job. Okay, so he typed in backpack and pressure cooker, and then I quit. Okay, I mean, still not enough for like the FBI to come raid you. IT flag staffed this IT staff. Why did I say IT flag staffed this? I'm reading this.
Because you want to go to Flagstaff.
I'm reading this. IT staff flagged the searches, which his former employer reported it to the local. Again. Listen to how the sentence is written. IT staff flagged the searches, which his former employer reported it to the local Suffolk County Police Department.
Yeah.
Is this written by AI? Like
Probably.
ESL AI? I mean, come on, people. It was brought up by the staff due to the actions of the people allegedly responsible for the Boston Marathon bombs earlier that year. I understand that it was a pressure cooker, yada yada, but like pressure cookers exist and people order them, so. The incident which took place, okay, they go into that, and people died, and yada yada.
Well, because there were pressure cooker bombs. That was the
right, but the thing is people still order pressure cookers, so you can't follow everybody on the planet that orders a pressure cooker, or else you have to ban the darn things, you know. Following the couple's unintentional internet search, several black SUVs pulled up at the couple's house to ensure they were not a terrorist threat. So every time somebody orders a pressure cooker, you're going to get FBI searching you? I mean, I don't understand. So if you don't want police to show up at your door, don't search the 4 words pressure. Okay, hold on a second. Pressure cooker bomb along with the word backpack. Now, where did the word bomb come from? Why is the word bomb in there?
I don't know.
Michelle described the surreal experience on her blog, saying that her husband saw 3 black USVs from the front of her house, 2 at the curb, in front, pulled up, blah, blah. Following the security concern, the police released a statement which read to receive a tip from Bayshore-based computer company regarding suspicious computer searches conducted by a recently released. Well, yeah, they typed in the word bomb. Why did they type in the word bomb? Michelle wrote on her blog, mostly I felt a great sense of anxiety. You should. You typed in the word bomb. I'm going to say bomb so often we're going to get the FBI. This is where we are at. If you have no expectation of privacy or trying to learn how to cook, some lentils could possibly land you on a watch list. Okay, lady, I have never put a bomb in my lentils. And I have a lot of lentils.
We have tons of lentils.
She jokingly added, all I know is if I'm going to buy a pressure cooker in the near future, I'm not doing it online. I'm scared and not of the right things. Why is nobody saying why she typed the word bomb? Wanna know, wanna know, wanna know. There's nothing in here. They're just like,
yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, and she typed the word bomb. Bit. I don't understand why she
Weird
typed the
things
word
in
bomb.
New York, I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, why did she type the... I'm confused.
I don't know if she actually put the word bomb in there. That's what's throwing me off.
She said the 4 words you don't type. Pressure cooker, bomb, and rucksack.
Don't know.
And you know what I want to do right now?
What do you want to do?
I want to type google.com and the words pressure cooker, bomb, rucksack and find out what happens. Because that is the kind of person I am. Let's see here. I'll take this off here and do this. And
so what are you doing now?
I'm going to Google. And I'm typing, no thanks. And I'm typing pressure cooker, bomb, and rucksack. Just curious.
Somebody hurt me.
Pressure cooker bomb is an improvised explosive device, IED, created by inserting explosive material into a pressure cooker. Well, I knew that. Building a pressure cooker bomb, PBS.
You're not playing fair though, aren't you using a VPN?
No, it's not on right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I wanted to arrest the right
I don't
people.
think it's on right now. New York bombs were both shrapnel, pressure cooker. Wow, you can go. What's funny though is This is PBS. Building a pressure cooker bomb. Active explosive test facility. No, you got to stop crossing out the word rucksack because that's supposed to get me show results with rucksack. Marathon security. How can you keep 26.2 miles? Still can't figure out why she typed in the word bomb.
I don't know.
I'm totally at a loss on that one. So I'll have to do some research offline on that one because I do not know why she typed the word Ibn. Okay.
Now, you said you were going to read these, so you go right ahead.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want to do this one because I'm so upset by this. I'm really upset by this one. All right, so let's start with where the story started. A New York man who turned a rescue squirrel into a social media star called Peanut is pleading with state authorities to return his beloved pet. Spoiler alert, he didn't get the pet back. They seized it during a raid that also yielded a raccoon named Fred. Multiple anonymous complaints. I don't buy that for a second. About Peanut brought at least 6 officers from the State Department of Environmental Conservation to Mark Longo's home near the Pennsylvania border in a rural Pine City. Okay, now, let's keep in mind, he's way the heck, is there pictures of where he lives? No, there's not. He is way the heck out in the middle of no dang where. I mean, this guy's like out on a farm like we are. He's like way out in the middle of nowhere. So it's not like
It's
he's
near
in
the
middle
Pennsylvania border.
He's not
It's
like he's in the middle of the city.
Right, he's way out there.
The DEC came to my house and raided my house without a search warrant to find a squirrel. I was treated as if I were a drug dealer, and they were going for drugs and guns. The officers left with Peanut, who amassed hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. Okay, so what happened? What happened is they killed the squirrel for no freaking reason. And they're calling it euthanasia, which it's not. When you murder an innocent creature out of cold blood for no reason other than just to show that they have to follow your authority, that is not euthanasia. You are not putting it out of its misery. You are killing it, just outright. So they said that the squirrel bit somebody. Well, good. I hope he got a chunk of him. I hope the guy gets rabies and dies. And I don't usually wish death on people, but good God, people. You're seizing a squirrel. This little guy, he's on YouTube all over the place. Let's see if I can find him. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. Peanut the squirrel. He's just a sweet, I mean, look at this. He played on, I had a pet squirrel growing up. I didn't have crazy people calling. And look at that, he lives way out in the middle of no dang where.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
That looks like where we live.
Yeah, there is absolutely no reason that you needed to call the authorities to get this guy to take his squirrel and murder it. And he's famous for eating waffles. He was adorable. There's no reason for that. This guy runs an animal rescue. He was in the process of getting special licenses for apparently this exotic species that he wasn't supposed to have. These guys are dicks. And you know what? You're going to have more people like this flexing their muscles if you vote for... Just get out there and vote, and don't vote for the DEI hire. That's all I'm saying. I can't believe they murdered this poor little guy. There's no reason for that. He wasn't hurting anybody. He didn't have rabies, obviously. I don't know what the alligator has to do with anything, but...
I also had an
Obviously, the
alligator, I
little
guess.
squirrel, that's a big old alligator. Oh, they're talking about other people who have taken in so-called exotic pets. I mean, come on.
okay.
Just, people, stay in your lane. There was no-
The staying in your lane is no longer fun.
There was
you know,
no
just-
reason that Peanut needed to be murdered. That was just pure evil. And there is no other word for it. I didn't get to play the sounder. I have a sounder to play. Let's play us a sounder. Because this was the new abnormal, and then we have one more story under this. So, didn't play my sounder for this, and I knew it. Here we go.
This is not Barbara Walters. It is no longer 2020. But this is your new abnormal.
If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it. It's about paying their fair share. I am not mad at anyone for achieving success, but everyone should pay their fair share, and it is not right that the teachers and the firefighters that I meet every day across our country are paying a higher tax than the richest people in our country.
President, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy.
She simply has said it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. We can't afford 4 more years of this, and I've been saying it.
You
think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
She's such
That's an appropriate facial expression for her most recent political ad. Would you like to watch this with me?
If I must.
Oh! Sorry, you can't do that.
What the hell, man? How'd you get in here?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're banning porn nationwide.
You can't tell me what to do. Get out of my bedroom, you creep!
I won the last election, so it's my decision. I'm just gonna watch and make sure you don't finish illegally.
Yeah, because
that'll happen.
That's happening.
Sure.
I mean, that with Project 2025 and, taking away your birth
this just takes
control.
the fear-mongering
and
way over the top.
They want the president to have... It's really funny because the same people who say they don't want the government to have control over their bodies are demanding that the president have control over their bodies.
I don't
There's
get
no
it.
self-awareness at all. So they have a whole series of these, and they're all revolving around sex.
And they're all bad.
And they're all just stupid like that. And, of course, the porn industry has, pardon the words, but this is literally the words they use. These are literally the words they use. Have given their full-throated endorsement to Kamala. Well, of course they have. She's one of their best pals. In fact, if she wasn't voted in, or actually she wasn't voted in, if she wasn't appointed to all these jobs, that's what she would be doing, because that's how she got those jobs. And no, I'm not being mean. It's a fact. Just ask Willie.
Just ask Willie.
Just ask Willie.
Just ask Willie.
Okay. Did you want to say anything else about this?
No, that said it all that needs to be said.
Is it just me, or does the actor in that ad look exactly like a friend we had in Vegas?
Yeah, it looks like a friend of ours in Vegas.
Sorry, you can't do that.
What the hell, man? How'd you get in?
Might even be that guy. I don't know.
No, it's not him, because he's much, much older now. But yeah, that's our guy. I'm pretty sure. Okay, folks.
We're just about at the
I
end.
think it would be nice if we ended on a high note.
Indeed.
Yeah. So let's head on into my favorite segment. Here on Counterculture Wise, we may rant, we may rave, but most of all, we go against the current culture because we believe, to the core of our beings, that humans are good and the world is an amazing and beautiful place. At the beginning of our show, we give you news of the weird and wonderful, but that is just the tip of the magnificent iceberg that is our world. We now present News of the Wonderfuller. Jim usually makes me read these, but he didn't read the last one, probably because he's upset about the possibility of no, you're not. He's a good boy. He wouldn't do that, right, Jim? Right?
I wouldn't do that. Whatever it was, I wouldn't do it. Anyway.
Either the jacking off or the watching the guy jacking off.
It was disgusting and stupid.
It's just so twisted. Yeah. So let's untwist ourselves. And
this is
tell me a story, Jim.
A great story of redemption.
All right.
This is right out of here in Texas. An Ellis County man was in the right place at the right time and saved someone's life, and then 6 weeks later, he did it again.
Twice?
Yes. In August, Jacob Bell saved a drowning swimmer at Lake Waxahachie, and then in early October, he pulled a man from a burning car after a crash. Long before any of this, Bell was sentenced to 35 years in prison. He made the decision to change his life, and because of that, he was able to save 2 others.
Well, why was he in prison?
Let's find out.
If it was like check cashing,
let's
so
find
what?
out.
But if it was like murdering a man, then this is like major redemption.
If anyone has earned the right to say that, it's Jacob Bell. This month, the North Texan was driving a truck in rural Comanche County when he encountered a crash scene. Caught on fire, it was upside down next to another telephone pole, he said. Moments earlier, a driver had crashed off the road and the car had broken out in flames. Bell told NBC5 that instinct took over. For me, I didn't even think about it, said Bell. I knew I could physically get him out of there, and I was going to do it. He smashed in the car window. I was able to pull out the driver, a 72-year-old man who wasn't breathing. I felt for a pulse. I pulled him out and kind of got him on the ground and felt for a pulse. I couldn't feel anything. I started CPR on him, and after maybe 5 or 10 seconds, I could feel a faint pulse. At the scene, the man
knew how to do it right, so he actually studied this.
Yes. At the scene, the man started breathing again, suffering from smoke inhalation. Bell was taken with the driver to the hospital in Fort Worth. NBC spoke with the man rescued who said he was still suffering from broken ribs but will recover.
Well, hopefully he doesn't turn around and sue him like some people have.
No, he wouldn't do that.
I mean, because that does happen. You really do have to, I mean, you're literally going through the ribs into the heart to get the dang thing to start.
It's been pretty amazing, the randomness of it, said Bell. Bell wasn't just talking about his rescue. 6 weeks earlier, he was on a boat at Lake Waxahachie when he saw a teen girl struggling in open water. He jumped in and saved her, swimming the girl back to shore. Bell also recovered the body of 21-year-old Lindsay Lopez, who had fallen beneath the waves. I'm still dealing with a lot of that, said Bell. The fact that Lindsay lost his life that day is still heartbreaking.
I've experienced that firsthand, having to pull a body out of the water.
It's horrific.
It scars you for life.
Bell said he's been working through feelings of anxiety through these traumatic incidents, but he was proud of both acts of heroism because only a few years ago they would have seemed impossible. I got charged with a burglary in 1996, and they gave me 35 and a half years, said Bell.
35 years for burglary? And folks are getting off with like several weeks for rape?
I don't know.
And murder? There are people out on parole right now for murder, and he got 35 years for robbing someone?
Yep. Jacob Bell spent 20 years in prison and could have still been there today. He committed to changing his life, leaving prison 6 years ago, and now has a wife and child. After all this, maybe the most important rescue Bell made was himself.
Well, after 20 years, yeah, he lost most of his life, and he didn't even really do anything. I mean, breaking and entering and burglary and I'm thinking 5-10 years, but 35?
Must have been some rich, powerful person he tried to burgle from
it
them.
must have been Hillary Clinton, because she can get away with murdering dozens of people and she gets butt kissed.
And let's talk about the happy ending.
Happy ending. This is me way over. Wait,
come on already.
Way over here. Okay, you can't talk about happy endings after doing a thing about porn, so you have to use different terms now.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Spent most of my life thinking that I was just a nobody and a castaway, never was going to get my self-worth back, said Bell. And this has really shown me that it's possible to give back and to feel good about yourself, and that means something.
Well, okay, sir, my deepest and most heartfelt apologies that you were slammed with such an unfair sentence.
Mhm.
But thank God that you spent that time bettering yourself, and you have saved lives. You have changed the world. So, folks,
And
redemption, I hate to be political at the very end, but that's the one thing that we believe in, that
Mhm.
we are teased for, made fun of, told that we're crazy, or they just ignore it altogether. Like, how can you possibly vote for the evil orange man when he, supposedly cheated on his wife, which has never been proven? He's divorced, blah, 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 your religion, yardy, yardy. Well, 2 reasons. One is, for God's sake, look at the alternative. And 2, our faith, by definition, is about redemption.
you pretty much said the sermon I promised for me.
The sermon you promised for
At
you?
the beginning of
Oh,
the
do you
of the
still
show.
want to do it?
No, we're good.
Well, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, boo.
Well, just real quick, and then we're gonna go because we got
I promised him
stuff.
papusas, and that's all he can
Papusas
think of right
and
now.
It's all, well,
That's what he
we're-
wants.
We're doing it for our friends too, so we're a bit of a time crunch. so-
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, so whoever you vote for, keep in mind that God is in charge. Okay, you might be one of those people who spends every Thanksgiving eating a Swanson Hungry Man turkey dinner because nobody will invite you to their house and nobody will come to yours because you can't go 5 minutes without spouting your mouth off about political crap. You might also be
I would love to have that person over. That would be so much fun. So if you are the Swanson Hungry Man guy, even if you disagree with our politics, come on over. We just got a new Monopoly, well, an old Monopoly game.
Yeah.
And I make a mean paleo stuffing. You'll love it. It's got sausage.
You also may be the kind of person who can't take a firm position on anything, even if you were dipped in cement.
And you're
The-
not invited.
the point is, the one who's really king, the one who's really
that
in
was
charge.
pretty good. I appreciate that. Was a good metaphor.
Thank you. God is in charge. He's
is
king
on his
over.
throne.
He's king over the Democrats and the Republicans
Yes.
and all the other warring factions around the world. He's in charge, and everything is going to be all right.
We had a Bible study today after church, and something came up that really, really touched my heart. And for those of you who are, not of the faith or whatever, this is no, take it with a grain of salt, whatever, do your thing. But it came up, and they were talking about how we don't pray enough, we just don't.
No, we don't.
And we can pray for people all the time in every aspect. And the one thing we really, really need to do is be kind to each other, which I think is a good ending, because that's what our entire outro is about. And they said that they actually, when they go to a restaurant, which is, a privilege we don't get to do very often, but when we do, I think we're going to start this tradition. They actually ask if they can pray. Well, they don't ask, but they ask the person who is waiting on them, the waitress or waiter or whatever. They tell them, well, we're going to pray before our meal. Do you have anything you'd like us to pray for?
I think that's wonderful.
I
The worst
love
that'll
that.
happen is they'll say no.
Yeah, the worst that'll happen is they'll say no, or we don't believe in that. Well, they said they did this a couple days ago, and the girl who was waiting on them, said, "Well, no, I don't really have anything," but then she came back to the table and asked, "Well, what God do you pray for?" And I thought, or pray to, what God do you pray to? And I found that fascinating, because growing up a Christian, we don't really think about that, because we pray to the God.
Yeah.
And the answer was the good one. The good one. Our God, no matter what you see on Twitter, no matter what you see out there, no matter what an atheist says, yes, there are Christians out there who are not giving us a good name, myself
we can
included.
name a few, but we're not going to.
Myself included. And then there's so-called Christians out there that just aren't. They're just not. And then there are Christians out there that you'll never know. You'll never know, because you'll only recognize them when you recognize the good that they do. If you are touched with kindness this week, pay it forward. I know we've ranted a little bit, we've raved a little bit. People, we love you no matter who you vote for.
But please vote.
Please vote.
Please vote November 5th
and
if you
drag
haven't
somebody
already done
with
so.
you.
Yeah.
And men especially
Your
get
civic-
out there because
your
for some
civic
reason
duty and civic
men
honor.
are the ones that don't vote, which I at first I thought that's really odd. I never thought of it. But when we were waiting in line to early vote this week, yeah, it was almost all women. There were only a few men there. So men, vote. Come on, guys. Get out there and vote. And don't believe what they say. Women do want to be protected. We do. So get out there and vote to protect the nation. God bless you. Have an amazing week. And we will see you next week.
Counterculture-Wise is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, counterculturewise.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial or medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, "Be a guest on our show."
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other, be kind to animals, and be kind to yourself. See you next week.